ladies and gentlemen, even as the nation struggles to get in terms with the Arjikar horror, another incident of rape has come to the fore from the holy city of Ujjain, which has quite literally shamed the entire humanity. A woman was allegedly raped on a footpath in broad daylight at a busy junction after being intoxicated. If the crime being committed in public space was not ridiculous enough, the reaction of the people around has added insult to injury. Many people who passed through this crime scene turned into silent spectators. Forget about helping. Some of them recorded this bone-chilling crime. The accused, identified as Lokesh, has now been arrested after he admitted to committing this heinous crime.
कल दोपहर लगभग 3:30 बजे एक महिला थाने पर आके रिपोर्ट करती है कि हमारे साथ में दुष्कर्म की घटना कारित हो गई है। तत्काल ही महिला अधिकारी को बुला करके उसको सुना गया और वरिष्ठ अधिकारियों को सूचित किया गया। बाद एफआईआर दर्ज की गई। एफआईआर दर्ज में संबंधित महिला ने आरोपी लोकेश के नाम का खुलासा किया। तत्काल टीम बना करके लोकेश की तलाश में भेजा गया और कल ही एफआईआर दर्ज होने के 2 घंटे के भीतर हमने लोकेश को गिरफ्तार किया और गिरफ्तार करके थाने पर ला करके पूछताछ की गई। पूछताछ के दौरान लोकेश ने घटना कारित करना स्वीकार किया। महिला का मेडिकल परीक्षण करवाया गया। इसके बाद लोकेश को आज माननीय न्यायालय के समक्ष पेश किया गया। माननीय न्यायालय के आदेशानुसार संबंधित को भैरवगढ़ जेल दाखिल किया गया है। इसके अलावा आज जो माननीय न्यायालय के समक्ष महिला के भी कथन करवाए गए हैं और जिसमें महिला के द्वारा संबंधित रेप की घटना के संबंध की पुष्टि माननीय न्यायालय के समक्ष की है।
Now, the incident has also triggered a political war of words between the opposition and the ruling BJP in Madhya Pradesh. The Congress has questioned the silence of former Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan over this incident. The state BJP leadership has meanwhile assured justice and accused the Congress of trying to create a controversy.
पूरे देश में भारतीय जनता पार्टी बंगाल में जो रेप कांड हुआ उसको लेकर आंदोलन कर रही है। मध्य प्रदेश में रोज 18 बहनों के साथ किसी न किसी प्रकार के बलात्कार, अत्याचार, अनाचार होते हैं। हद तो तब हो गई जब उज्जैन मुख्यमंत्री का अपनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में सार्वजनिक स्थान पर फुटपाथ पर एक बहन का रेप कर दिया। सवाल ये है कि लॉ एंड ऑर्डर में मध्य प्रदेश जंगल राज आ गया है। वो किसी भी परिस्थिति में नया एसटी, एससी बहनें या व्यापारी या आमजन सुरक्षित भी नहीं है और बहनों के साथ जो बलात्कार और अत्याचार मध्य प्रदेश में होता है, देश में कहीं नहीं होता है।
जीतू पटवारी या कांग्रेस या विपक्षी दल के जो लोग हैं, उनके पास कोई मुद्दे नहीं होने के कारण से हर प्रकार की घटना, दुर्घटना को इस प्रकार का वो स्वरूप देने का प्रयास करते हैं।
रेप का मामला सब जगह हर जिले में आ रहा है। ये तो कुछ मामले दब जाते हैं, कुछ मामले सामने आते हैं, पर ये कानून व्यवस्था पूरी ठप है और मध्य प्रदेश की जनता इसकी गवाह है।
Now, before I introduce my guests on the broadcast, let me go across to my colleague Govind, who's getting us the latest in this entire case and more details of it. Govind, absolutely horrific crime that has taken place. What's more appalling is the fact that people did not help and they instead recorded videos. But what's the latest that you're picking up as far as the details of this incident is concerned and what the police is saying?
Yeah, absolutely. It is not only a shocker. In fact, it's quite unbelievable for anybody else. In fact, this is whole happening, in fact, in the constituency of newly elected CM of a state, in fact. And this video surfaced since yesterday. And since that time, it's also getting viral on social media. And BJP and Congress just making the allegations on each other. You know that Congress party is saying that Madhya Pradesh has become a kind of capital of the crime against women, in fact. And this is quite shocking and surprising that somebody is just committing the crime of rape in the broad daylight on a footpath, in fact, and somebody is just filming this video, in fact. And more surprising is what that the PCC chief of Madhya Pradesh and Supriya Sinha, senior leader of Congress party, they are tweeting, in fact, the live video of a rape. That's okay, that is blurred video, but we can understand that this is the crime which is quite condemnable. Nobody can support such kind of crime. In fact, CM Mohan Yadav himself is being attacked by Congress party on this because he is now newly elected CM of Madhya Pradesh, and not only in his hometown, it's also being told that in his own constituency this crime was committed. Police is giving the justification just after this crime was committed. The accused has been sent to the jail, and action has been taken instantly. But we can understand that there is no fear of fear of any law or administration of the police in the mind of such kinds of dirty, rotten scoundrel who are captured in camera. In fact, this video is really so shocking and surprising for anybody else, in fact.
Govind, can I also ask you, of course, for our viewers, let me also tell you that here at Mirror Now, we have taken that editorial call that we will not play out that video. It is a crime video and we would not play that, even if it's blurred. But Govind, let me understand from you the location where this took place. This took place at Koila Fatak, I believe, which is one of the busiest junctions. Help us understand, is there no police personnel there? How is it that, this crime could take place at such a busy junction?
Yeah, absolutely. The place where this crime was committed is quite populous one. In fact, when this crime was committed on the footpath, many bystanders were there. In fact, a few sources of are just telling and confirming that at that time when this crime was committed on the footpath in broad daylight, there were a number of people just wandering around them, and somebody was just making the video of this, in fact. And it's being told that after this incident, police registered the case against that accused and has been sent to the jail, in fact. But we can understand that if such dirty, rotten scoundrels don't have any fear of police or any leader or any of the administration, then we can understand that Mohan Yadav, newly elected CM of Madhya Pradesh, in his own hometown and also in his own constituency, as Congress party is claiming, in fact, this area comes in under the jurisdiction of his own constituency. So that is most surprising, in fact. And you know that Madhya Pradesh is being declared by the opposition as the capital of the crime against women already, and there are a number of crimes surfacing against women that is also witnessing through the number of stories.
Right, Govind, so that political war of words continues. But thanks very much for joining us at the moment and helping us the entire context of this crime. But here on Mirror Now, viewers, we will be talking about how we've become a nation of bystanders, how there is onlookers' apathy syndrome in this entire country. Let me introduce my guests on the broadcast. PK Jain, former additional DGP Maharashtra, is joining us.
Namaskar.
Dr. Bhavna Barmi, clinical psychologist, is also joining us. Good evening and namaskar to both of you. Dr. Bhavna Barmi, let me start with you. And before I ask you questions as a psychologist, I want to ask you as a woman, how concerning is this? Every crime that is committed against a woman shocks us, leaves us absolutely disheartened with the kind of situation that we are seeing regarding women's safety.
Absolutely. I think your question up here is that the society cannot stoop any lower than where we have gone. This is shocking, unbelievable, unfortunate. And this whole psychological phenomena of the bystander effect, where individuals believe someone else is going to step in, leading to collective inaction, is actually a phenomena of psychological cultural silence. I think India it is extremely unfortunate. I have no words. There is a societal tendency to avoid confrontations, with many people believing it is not their place to intervene, and they maintain this kind of a psychological silence, which is true portrayal of the apathetic and indifferent attitude that our society is going towards. I mean, there is a lack of empathy where even witnessing crimes are or of this nature. And yes, I think we do lack a lot of education on our civic duties, Many are unaware of their roles as
Yeah.
responsible, dutiful citizens and the legal protections available to those who intervene, contributing to this passive mentality. And I think we definitely need to, like we are
Yeah.
using the media to influence us. Because somewhere what also happens is that the portrayal
Yeah.
of violence and
Dr.
crime
Barmi,
in
we'll delve
media
deeper into
often
this and the
is
psychology
sensitizing
behind the onlookers' apathy that we are discussing here. But let me get in Mr. Jain into this conversation. Mr. Jain, I have with me the NCRB data of 2022, which suggests that the highest rape cases in the country happened in Ujjain, with 6,462 rape cases taking place in the city. 3,515 rape cases were involving minors. That's absolutely shocking. In terms of the law and order situation, in terms of, when we talk about women's safety, in terms of that, just look at the numbers and look at what has happened. How does the law and order play out? What would the police have done here?
Shreya, good evening. See, I have no words, Shreya. I do not know how to respond and how to react. It's an absolutely shocking incident that has happened. The numbers that you have just now spoken out, 6,400 or whatever number, is again a very shocking number for a city. Uh, See, the only thing I can say is that such cases should be immediately taken action against. They should be prosecuted. They should be fast-track courts. See, it is only a question of how the justice is meted out and in what time frame the justice is meted out that defines the effectiveness of the law and order machinery. In this particular case, if you ask me, there was a case sometime back in Ujjain itself where a 12-year-old girl had been raped, and she had to walk almost about 8 kilometers before she
Yes.
could get any help, and that too from a temple priest. It is unfortunate, shocking. I don't
Yes.
know where the
Yeah.
conscience of the people has gone. I have no words to defend individuals, citizens, the government machinery, whatever you may name. It is absolutely shocking. As I said, see, people have become insensitive to incidents like this. People stand there and make a video of this kind of a thing without intervening. I mean, how do you explain this kind of a conduct? So I can only say, Shreya, that it is unfortunate. In this case, you may call it rape. It was, having sex in the open under the influence of alcohol, where the woman was not resisting. I mean, she is a mother of 18-year-old boy. So she knows the implications of her action, but they were doing it in the open. But other cases of rape where it is a forced rape, where it is it is a rape, but otherwise in a case where it is rape, I think the police and the machinery should come down very heavily on the perpetrators, and unless
No,
there is
but
some
here, Mr. Jain,
visible
is
action.
also the
Yeah.
case of rape, because the accusation against Lokesh, the accused, is that he intoxicated her on the pretext of promising her that he will marry her, and then ended up raping her. That's the accusation that has been hurled against
See,
him.
Shreya, that's a fact that, technically, as I said, it's a rape, because anybody having sex with a woman under threat, or by promising something, it tantamounts to rape. Yes, it is a rape technically. But when you define rape otherwise, where it is a forced kind of a rape, where the other partner is not willing, that is the kind of rape which I was talking of. In this case, there are different judgments from the
Hmm.
Supreme Court that if it is consensual, then it may not tantamount to rape, because it depends on the age of the victim, the social standing of the victim, how she was at the time of having this relationship, etc. All those factors also creep in. As I said, it is abhorrent. Action has been taken, action must be taken, and it must be ensured that such people are punished in a time bound manner. That doesn't happen. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
people get away. You get bail within 2 months, and then you are again free to rape another girl or another woman. That is what is happening in this country, and that is what is giving a rise to such cases. And then some politicians making either mockery out of the process of law, or because of their political compulsions, making statements which are absolutely distasteful. In this case, Jitu Patwari says that 18 women
Yeah.
get raped in Madhya Pradesh every day. The situation was no different when Congress government was in power. See, it is, if you look at the NCRB figures, year after year, the rapes and molestations and eve teasing cases are increasing. So it is no government is crowning itself by
Hmm.
saying that this is happening today. It was not happening yesterday. It is happening every day. it is unfortunate that we find politics in every damn thing
Yeah.
that's under the sun. This case should be condemned by everybody,
Yeah.
be it Congress,
Yeah,
be it
that's the
BJP, be it any
unfortunate
other
part,
party.
Mr. Jain, that this entire scene has to be seen beyond political lines, beyond the political lens. But Dr. Barmi, let me understand from you. You could explain this sort of onlookers' apathy, one from the fact that probably there is fear that they don't want to get involved in a crime scene, there will be probably the ripple effect of being involved, and that's why people don't want to. But this is clear insensitivity. You can stand there, you are not helping anybody, you're just making a video out of it and sharing it then.
Absolutely. I agree with you that it is absolutely shocking insensitivity and apathy, and it is a diffusion of responsibilities. Recording allows individuals. I mean, this is absolutely terrible. They are diffusing their responsibilities. There is a psychological dissociation from reality. The act of recording can create a kind of an emotional distance from the entire reality of what is happening. And this is what we call as cognitive dissonance. And I think there is a terrible misguided sense of social justice. Some bystanders may believe that posting the video will incite outrage and demand action from others. Thereby, they sometimes think they'll act as whistleblowers to this injustice. However, this is often overlooked, and it is complete insensitivity and apathy that is coming about, like this bystander effect. Because the impact on the woman, not only on the woman who's going through the assault, but the what would you say, the generic of the women, is that there is a psychological lowering of their self-worth. There is an internalized fear of victimization. Women may begin at large to internalize the belief that they can be the potential victims, and they will live with this kind of fear of helplessness and powerlessness. So these incidents in the society is actually
How much
making
of this
one
has to do
gender
with social
feel
media, Dr.
completely
Barmi?
helpless and leads us to depression.
The
Leads us
fact
to
that everybody wants to be the first
mental
one who wants
depression
to
and
post on
anxiety.
social media, wants to be the original source of a certain video or a post that should go viral. Everybody is running after getting viral in this social media age. How much of that contributes to the kind of onlookers' apathy syndrome that we are seeing across the country today?
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible, because social validation and somewhere psychological attention seeking by being the first is something that is a misnomer in the mind of people. People record traumatic events to gain the validation on social media, and they like to share it because they feel they are going to be the first to be able to extend this kind of news out in the public. But what is to be understood is that what do they do prior to that? They cannot be bystanders. They have to move. They have to move so that they can help, they can support. Either they can do it their own selves or they can seek support. But the fact that they are going to shoot her video or videos like this is a complete threat to humanity at large. Cannot be pardoned. Cannot be pardoned, because like I was sharing, the impact on the entire gender bias and the position of a presence of a woman in the society is being threatened. There is no aspect of trust that is getting left. There is a complete erosion of this trust when when these bystanders fail to intervene. It actually creates a feeling of psychological
But let me
betrayal
take this across
and
to Mr.
diminishes
Jain,
women's trust in
Dr.
the
Barmi.
community.
Mr. Jain, being a bystander has its background perhaps in the fact that people for long have had this thought that, who's going to get into the police investigation? We'll have to go to the police station again and again. The police will badger us with questions. We don't want to get involved. But for viewers who might be watching you right now, what are the first few steps they can take without this kind of fear coming into their mind and this kind of probably lethargy, for want of a better word, that comes inside that, who's going to get involved in a crime scene?
Shreya, you are right. Unfortunately, the legal process is such we need witnesses, and the person who's the first complainant in point of time or the first informant has to undergo some kind of a discomfort. He may be called to the police station twice, thrice. He may be produced before a senior officer for verification of his statement. These are all processes. But I think as responsible citizens, the only thing I can say is that we must come forward. Unless we come forward, how does it stop? I mean, you simply be a witness tomorrow. It could be somebody from my family. It's a question of it's a question of my social, my civil responsibility that I should be discharging, even at a slight discomfort to myself. It is the same. I can't compare the two situations, but it is the same kind of a thing. You get 2 days holidays and the people go off on a holiday rather than vote. See, we are absolutely chucking our civil responsibility, our civic responsibility out of the window. This is what is happening. So I have no shortcut to this, because anybody who's a witness will have to undergo the process of the police investigation, being called twice, thrice for getting his statement recorded and then verified. And then he will have to present himself before the court. And you know how the courts function. There could be a few dates also. But unfortunately, this is a fact of life, and this is our legal system. The new BNSS is trying to put a cap on this, on the number of adjournments. Otherwise, the witnesses absolutely get harrowed by the presence in the courts. More than the police, it is the process in the court which is more painful, because dates after dates after dates, and if the guy does not remain present, summons and warrants are issued against him. So this is what our legal system is. But somewhere we have to as responsible citizens come out and be witnesses and be the part of the process. Shreya.
Yeah, that's right. And Dr. Barmi, quickly from you then, just the last word in a quick 30 seconds. How have we become this selfish society who doesn't have a collective responsibility feeling towards each other, a society that cares about each other? How did we become such a selfish people?
I think there were a lot of implications that brought about these kind of things. But right now, I think we definitely need a societal shift, which is necessary to empower individuals to act, report, and intervene, and foster a culture that condemns silence and inaction in the face of crimes. Knowing that, we cannot be this apathetic and indifferent society lacking empathy in especially crisis times. I think we need to empower ourselves. I think the society, the community, the legal systems, the civic awareness programs all need to be there, because I think women need to get back their strength, their trust, their self-worth. And this vicarious trauma that even if we as women have not been directly involved, repeatedly witnessing or hearing about such incidents can result in a vicarious trauma that will be lopsided for one side of the gender community for us. So I think a complete stop on this is an
which is true.
absolute
The
must.
fact that
And this misguided
even
sense
if
of
we're not a
social justice.
victim, we have been survivors. All of us can, Dr. Barmi, agree that all women have been survivors, most of them, of eve teasing, of, being labeled, of feeling unsafe when you're walking on the streets. So even if you're not directly involved, you do have that constant fear in your mind.
Yes, and that is the fear that we need to eradicate. And thereby, like Mr. Jain was also saying, I think we need to have all these processes in place that can restore the trust, restore that we are not going to be, just victims. And there can be certain things that will be done, whether we are the victim or whether we are a part of this vicarious learning. I think it is very, very important to get that empowered
I think it's not going to be an overnight change, but the more we talk about it, Dr. Barmi, the more we can change society. I'll have to leave it there. Mr. P.K. Jain and Dr. Bhavna Barmi, thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now and sharing your perspective. Thank you very much.